Yo, what's good, team? Hey, I just wanted to make this video because, for one, I haven't made one in a little bit. Gotta feed the streets, you know what I'm saying? And also, I just wanted to give some newbies, some new guys, some heads up on the topic, which is my anxieties with driving trucks, semi trucks. So, probably title it a different way. But yeah, I really just want to discuss my anxieties, my fears, and just the things that I look out for. I try to be more aware of while I'm driving, because it's good to have that sense of awareness. Those things that can give you such nervousness and anxiety is the things that can keep you sharp and have you continuously being vigilant. So my number one anxiety, and I check on this every day, every time I get in and out my truck, the number one anxiety fear that I have is that my locking jaw, my locking pin, and my arm is not secured. And basically what that is the piece that goes around your kingpin that's on your trailer. So it's the part that connects the tractor and the trailer together. It locks around to make sure that the kingpin stays in. So that's my number one fear, my number one anxiety, is that that's just not secure, and I'll pull off one day and either my lines are connected or they're not connected, and my trailer just drops. To tag along with that anxiety, that fear, is that somebody goes and pulls the lever to release the kingpin. Like, I've heard stories about that, and that type of stuff keeps me up at night. It has me constantly checking to make sure nobody was being petty or being racist or something out here and just trying to set me up for failure. Quick story, to keep up with the times. The other day I was parked at a Pilot, and I went inside to ask them if I could drop my trailer there, go grab something to eat and come back. Fortunately, they said yeah. All I had to do was sign my name on this clipboard, my information on my trailer, my phone number, a company I worked for, and everything. And then I was good to go. And I got back to my trailer. I had undid my airlines, had pulled the locking lever, and I had a newer trailer. And these newer trailers for Western Express, they have the crank for the landing gear on the right side. I'm so used to it being on the left side with all the older ones. So I did all I needed to do on the left side with the lines and pulling the locking, but I did not remember to drop my landing gear, and it was almost over for me. I was rushing. I will admit I was rushing because I was trying to get to Hooters to see some Hooters. No, I'm just kidding. I was rushing there to get something to eat, and I wanted to catch the Lakers game. So did all I had to do on the left out of habit, and then I got back in my truck, and I forgot that I didn't drop my landing gear. So I'm pulling out, and all of a sudden I see my trailer. It just felt weird. There's some things where you just know it just don't feel like it normally do. Like, you could do a lot of things blind, but you just know it just doesn't feel the same. So I pulled out, and something didn't feel right. But I looked in my mirror. I'm like, yo, my landing gear ain't right. Shit ain't down. So I immediately stopped. The trailer, fortunately, God was looking out, and it did not fall to the ground. I did pull out, but it pretty much sat somewhat on the skid plate / the tires. So I was able to put the brakes on and then back in. I couldn't really back all the way back in because the trailer wasn't really all the way on the skid plate. So I had to get out, drop the landing gear, and I had to crank the trailer back up. And yeah, that was about the end of me. I had an empty trailer, so it wouldn't have been that bad, but that's just a careless mistake that I almost made big time. So my number 2 anxiety, my number 2 fear is going under a low clearance bridge with our tablets, our navigation, our co-pilot and everything with the company. It pretty much navigates us on only truck routes, and it keeps us from going down any roads that are like residential, and it pretty much maps us out from going under any low clearance bridges. I think the lowest bridge I've been under so far has been 1310, and my trailer is 13.6. That's the clearance I need. So that was one of the closest calls that I've had. I've also been down a road where there's a bridge, right? And then going under the bridge, the road dipped down and then back up. So it basically bowled down. That gave me a lot of anxiety. I didn't know if back end of my trailer was gonna get through or not, but fortunately I went through, no problems. All right, everybody, so my number 3 fear, I would have to give it to the tight turns. You know, those 2-lane roads that are actually a lane and a half in most places. Sorry, probably not saying that right. So basically, it's my 2 lanes in Ohio, Cincinnati is basically 1.5 in these tight turn areas. So for example, I was near Pittston, Pennsylvania, and I was on one of the main roads there. It's super busy. It's a lot of cars and everything, and I'm on this road until I can get to my turn to get to my delivery. And this road, man, it was almost like it wasn't like a downtown area. It was a highly populated residential area. Like there was a school, there's a bunch of businesses on this one road. There was a whole lot of stuff going on in this one road. And I'm in a 2-lane, 2 lanes coming at me, and my navigation, this is what I'm saying, most of the time navigation is going to get you right through the tablet. But this time, it had me turn onto a road that had me going that way and the oncoming traffic coming this way. So it's basically 2 lanes, one going that way, one coming this way. So I turned, it was supposed to have me turn from a 2-lane to the 1 lane. And that turn was just ridiculous. Like once I saw it, I was like, there is no way I'm making this turn. Absolutely no way I'm making it. It's too sharp. And then the curb stood out so far. Like it wasn't like a smooth, it didn't look like a street that a truck should be turning on, period. And on top of that, it was a narrow ass lane. So once I saw it, I had to make the executive decision, like, I gotta turn on another street. Like, if I do this, it's over for me, because I'm most definitely wrapping that pole that's at the edge of the damn street curb, and I'm most definitely running into that car or forcing them to fall back, because I need both those lanes to turn. Like, I started halfway in the left lane, and once I saw it, I was like, I gotta keep going. So that gave me a lot of anxiety, but the easiest thing to do was to keep going and then have the nav. Hopefully I'm not going into a low clearance bridge after that, and hopefully it's not into a residential area after that. and just keep going and find the next turn to get me back on route. So I keep going, and the next turn wasn't as bad. It was another one lane that way, one lane coming back, and it was kind of like a sharp angle. It was almost like I'd say turning from where I was at, it was a good 90, it was more than 90 degrees. It was way more than 90 degrees. It was a sharp turn, but I had more room to work with. The oncoming traffic, like, they had to stop a little bit further back. And I ain't gonna lie, like, I got the turn off, but at the same time, the curb it inclined. So as I'm making my turn, I see my rear trailer tires on the curb, and I'm like, okay, just go slow. I shouldn't run into no problems. But then I'm looking at the curb in my mirror too, and I'm like, yo, this curb is angling up. And I looked at my trailer out my left side, and I'm like, yo, my trailer is about to tip and fall. I gotta get off this curb, but I can't make this turn. So I'm like basically praying and looking at the poor fools to my left, like, I'm sorry, this trailer might fall on y'all. I pray it doesn't. It didn't. I made the turn, and the next turn, and I got back on route, and I was good from there. But I will remember those turns for the rest of my life. Like, it was traumatizing. Like, it was almost over for me, yo. It was almost over for them too. I didn't even know it was. But yeah, that was my number 3 anxiety. My number 4 anxiety. Coming at you with number 4. I might just give y'all top 5. But really just freehanding this, because I know what has scared me or given me anxiety, and I feel like I can thoroughly express that to you guys without stuttering too much. So yeah, number 4 anxiety is getting to a point throughout the night of driving, my time running out on my 14 or my 11, my 14, whichever, and I have nowhere to park. It gives me such anxiety, because yeah, I could pull over to a shoulder and park, but you know, there's dangers that come with that. There's idiots who have emergencies as well, and there's just idiots in general who will see your truck there, or not be paying attention and run into the back of your truck. And I don't ever want that to happen to me. So if I ever do pull over and park at a median, you know, off on the shoulder or something, it's gonna be basically an extended shoulder. It's not gonna be a regular shoulder. It'll probably have a whole nother lane in the shoulder. But yeah, I've run into that once where there was just nowhere to park, and I had no time, and I pretty much had to park on the shoulder, getting off the exit into a rest area, like a rest stop. Outside of that, I've been able to finesse a parking spot, even if it isn't an actual spot, at almost every truck stop. But I try to plan my trip around having a nice place to park and not running into no parking. You know, that gives me such anxiety. I'd rather wrap up my day early, have somewhere to park, than try to continue on and have nowhere to park. You know, it's just that stresses me out. It's almost like when you don't have somewhere to park, being a trucker, it's almost like being homeless, even though you got somewhere to lay your head. Like, you be out on the streets, you never know what's gonna happen. Like, but yeah, when I was parked on that shoulder, getting off to that rest stop, I promise you, it was one of the worst sleeps I've had doing this, because you literally hear and feel every truck racing down the highway, and it's more than trucks. You can hear a motorcycle, you can hear a car, and you don't just hear it, like, you feel that thing, like when you in the truck, like the wind pushes your truck too. So I'd like to have a nice place to park every night, every day. Like, I don't care if I gotta drive 10 hours tomorrow, as long as I got somewhere to park tonight, I'll drive that 10 and find me somewhere good to park tomorrow. So that's number 4. So my number 5 anxiety. Number 5. I haven't really ran into anything too stressful or scary outside of that. I always try to park in a safe area, but I have run into parking at places or spots that in the middle of the night, it could be 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning. I'm asleep, I'm knocked out, and all of a sudden I hear I'm like, what now? And I get up out the middle of my sleeping so good, sleeping fantastically, and I'm being told I gotta move. I hate it. It's one of those things where it's such a letdown, because you know it was probably risky parking in the first place, but it was the best you could come up with at the time. You may or may not have seen it coming, but at that point, that moment in time, get your up and find somewhere else to park. They don't care if it's up the block, it just can't be there. So that's been my top 5 anxieties, you guys. So being a new driver, that's probably a limited thing. I mean, I don't fear much, not scared of much, but those are my top 5. I'm sure that once I get more experience and drive more, I'm gonna run into more things that has me on edge. But as a rookie driver, that's my top 5 anxieties, my top 5 fears. If you guys like the video, go ahead and hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. I got more trucking videos coming for you guys. I got more content outside of trucking. I don't know if you guys know this or not, if you see my older videos, but it is primarily a vlog channel. I like to give informationals, how-tos. I like to go to the gun range. I like to make workout videos. And I got something new coming for you guys. I think I put the older videos on privacy mode because it's been about 2 years since I last visited that topic. So I pretty much put those videos on private, but it's on the way. Something nice. I will say it is another form of vlog. Hopefully you guys find it entertaining. No, I'm not rapping, making music. No, I'm not making gaming videos on here. I post some gaming videos, some gaming clips to my TikTok. My TikTok is team_Gabe_Rice. I gotta get more active on TikTok, but yeah, subscribe to all the platforms. If there's any social medias on there, they'll probably have my name on there, team_Gabe_Rice. So I appreciate you guys for watching. Thank you, and keep watching. Deuces.